What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is good to see you guys on this beautiful Tuesday. Before we get started, thank you for being here. If you're in the chat already, go ahead and get in the chat. If you're going to share this, go ahead and share it. If you're going to give a super chat, go ahead and give a super chat. If you want to look down at the bottom of the screen to make it easier for yourself, you could definitely go ahead and send a cash app if you choose to do so. All this is voluntarily. No one's putting a gun to your head and making you do anything. But if you do want to support the channel, please support the channel by watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, giving, whatever you feel like you need to do. Okay. All right. So before I get started, guys, let me go on my little soliloquy here. Okay. Oh shit! Because I have a problem, and with that problem, how can I say this? The world that we live in today is changing drastically. It's changing every day. Something new happens every day. There's a new law every day. Somebody's offended by something. But today, I want to talk about the fight. I don't want to talk about, Pookie and Ray Ray and Keisha. But I do want to talk about. I just want to talk about a few things that I think women should be offended by. For years, what's up, Shoo Shoo? Hey, the beautiful and lovely and talented Shoo Shoo's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. CBN is in the building today. All right, thank you so much for being here. But a lot of women today are saying that I've spoken to women, I've heard women on panels and in real life say that they have friends who are in the LGBTQ community. They love them. They like their presence, and people can hang around and be around whoever they want to be around. They say that the LGBTQ men have supported them more than any other group of people. I'm talking about Black women. But you see the name of this show real quick, this live. What does it say? Women should be offended by this. There are some things that women should be offended by. Now, I see a lot of women that they're online and they're saying men ain't shit. Men ain't gonna never be shit. They're not going to do anything. They're not going any place. They're not this. They're not reliable, right? They have everything to say about men and banging them up against the head and just popping them in the jaw. Every opportunity they get, the men's going to get that ass kicked. Oh shit! Oh shit! So my position on this is this. Women, you know about them men. You call them deadbeats. You call them they ain't shit. They ain't shit niggas. They all these different things that you say about men. I want to challenge you guys. I want to see where your energy is when the very men that you say protected you, the very men that you say supported you, and were there for you, the men that have become your friends and become just so, such a part of the community that they're more entitled to being supportive than men who are heterosexual. The problem that I have, well, I'll explain it to you from a third person perspective. I had an opportunity to go on Purple Pill Podcast. Purple Pill podcast. Shout out to you. Haven't been there in a while. I need to reach out to those guys. We do great work together. And Purple Pill Podcast in Dallas. I went to their studio and we had a conversation. There was a girl there that she was significantly ignorant, and we had a debate, which I cooked her ass like a spare rib at Thanksgiving. And she had an opportunity to speak what she wanted to speak, and I definitely had an opportunity to speak what I wanted to speak. And I'm just going to allow myself to tell you what she did. Now, before we get started, I want to show you guys something. This conversation was so, how can I say it? This conversation was such an amazing conversation that we ended up having a conversation about, I just want to show you guys. Because this particular video, I went on and did with them. And when I went on and did with them, let me share my screen real quick with you guys. Hold on just a second. Where is it at? There she goes. I want to share this with you guys real quick. When I went on their show, I want to zoom in for a second so you guys can see. As you can see, the name of it was called, women should be offended by this. It was so important. If you look down at the right-hand corner, I highlighted for you 4 million views. A matter of fact, when I went and looked at some of the comments, I had my brother reach out to me this morning, Sir Hell Speaks. He said, man, look, you need to go check yourself, brother. You done went viral again. Talking about things people want to hear. And if you go in the comments on this video where it says women should be offended, 4 million views, that's not shabby, right? Because the people went into that, and you should see some of the comments. Thank you, brother. Women are saying, thank you, king. You're my king. Oh my God, I think I've fallen in love. I saw that. I was like, wow, right? We're going down the list of comments here saying, thank you, brother. This is true. This is true. I guess you're wondering, what is he talking about? Is what true? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because that's why we're here today. Women should be offended by this. So let me share what the 4 million views were for and why I had millions of people tell me, I'm 250, I'm sorry, millions, 250,000 comments or so saying this video helped them, whether it was a man saying, dude, you're on point, or a woman saying, man, finally, somebody's saying this. Let me show you this video real quick. Let me share it with you. Here it is. Fucking dictionary. Google that shit. They just changed the definition.
What difference do it make to you? You've been calling women
no. What I'm saying is you should be offended. As a woman, you should be offended. You got to go through menopause, hot flashes. You got to go through a period every month. You got to go through all the stresses of being a woman, getting up every morning, putting a bra on, your back cramping, what my heating pad is from a period. And then you got a man over here with a whole dress and a fucking wig on that's saying, I'm a woman and you a cis woman. All you are is a carrier, because that's what the fuck they're saying about you right now. You're just a carrier. All right, guys. Again, I'm gonna play that again. All right, give me your thoughts in the chat here, because I'm going to break this guy down. I don't know who this guy is. He's speaking. He's preaching. I don't know who this guy is, but we need to break every word this young man said down. All right. Let's see. Let's play it one more time. Change the definition of a woman in the fucking dictionary. Google that shit. They just changed the definition.
What difference do it make to you? You've been calling women
no. What I'm saying is you should be offended. As a woman, you should be offended. You got to go through menopause, hot flashes. You got to go through a period every month. You got to go through all the stresses of being a woman, getting up every morning, putting a bra on, your back cramping, what my heating pad is from a period. And then you got a man over here with a whole dress and a fucking wig on that's saying, I'm a woman and you a cis woman. All you are is a carrier, because that's what the fuck they're saying about you right now. You're just a carrier. Change the definition. So let's break this down. The first thing this guy said in the video is, let's break this down. Let's break this down. So let's break it down here today, right? We're reacting to this young man because I happened to run into this man who has 4 million views on this video, and all the comments seem to be supporting what he's saying in this video. And so we have to react to this man because this man is preaching. He's dropping some bombs here. So he said, let's break this down. There's a new definition for a woman in the dictionary. So, you guys know that that's true? New definition of a woman? In the dictionary, it shows here. Let me put it on the screen, because I don't want people to think that I'm lying to you. All right, it's a quick Google search, guys. If you want to go and Google search the new definition of what a woman is, I'm going to show it to you. I just Googled it. Let's look at the receipts together so people won't say I'm making this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me take this guy down for just a second. Let me remove him for a second. And let me go here and pull up what the dictionary's new definition of a woman is. Let me share the screen. Because, see, I think when you open Pandora's box, women, mostly 1,000%, of women who supported this movement, and now the very men you supported want to take your place and rename you cis women and say that you're carriers of children, but you're not considered a woman just because you was given that at the time of your birth. Now you have to reap what you sow. But let's get to it. The dictionary says here, let me get myself out of it here. Let me shrink here. What does it say here? It says a new definition of a woman is an adult who lives and identifies as a female, even though they have not been born as a different sex. Let me say that again for the people in the back that have a hearing aid that can't hear in one ear and deaf in the other. The new dictionary definition for a woman, if you see it on the screen, here's the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. The new definition of a woman is an adult who lives and identifies as a female, even though they have been born as a different sex. Women should be offended. It's amazing how women are so quick and so swift to kick a man in the nuts and tell him he ain't nothing. He a deadbeat. He's this, he's that, and the other. He ain't this. You're just like your ugly daddy. You're just like your mama. You're toxic. You ain't this. You're always trying to be something you not. But you won't tell the men who are trying to steal your identity that they doing too much. They're doing too much to the point where back in the day you were just gay and you just went away. You were gay and you would just be with another guy. No, we didn't give a damn about your decisions. I don't hate gay people. Just stay in your lane. Go over there with your if you want to be with a man, wants to be with a man, go over there and be with a man. If a woman wants to be with a woman, go over there and be with a woman. That's your responsibility. That's what you want to do in your life. Do that. However, when you start making it a political thing and you start to say men have a right to take a position of something they don't have, then that's where the problem comes in. Let me list some few things here. See, normally I prepare for lives like this, but I love these pop-up lives because my creativity juices get to flowing and I have an opportunity to flow those juices. So let me get them out real quick for you guys in the back, right? Let's see, women, as the young man mentioned in the video, women are, they wake up in the morning, and most women, depending on what age group they're in, hot flashes. They wake up in the morning and they have to go to the bathroom because they're cursed by Eve because now they have a period. And during that period trial, their stomachs are cramping. Some women feet swell. Some women become sick. Some women have to go get Midol, Tylenol, and all, and they have to sit down and they have to rest. They can't do anything. Depending on if they're using a pad or a tampon, they have to use that to keep the blood flow from coming down. Then they have to secure the pad. Then they have to secure the tampon. Then they have to deal with the cramps. And then once the period is gone, the next definition of a woman is a woman that finds out her period ain't coming on. What does that mean, Black Men Unfiltered? I'm glad you asked. That means some women may be going through a pregnancy. Oh my God, you tell me what person can go through 9 months of having a human being in their stomach and the human being is kicking the shit out of their kidneys and their liver and their stomach, and they're lying on their kidney and they're pissing 2 or 3 times a night. Their feet are swollen. They're going through labor pains. Some women have to go and for months and months. Some women are even put on bed rest because they're unable to move. Come on, somebody in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you know I'm not lying today. Women, you need to be putting a 1 in the chat because I'm on your side today. You should be offended that you're going to go 9 months carrying a human being on your stomach that's kicking your kidney, kicking your stomach, keeping you up all times of night. You can't sleep. You still got to get up the next day in the morning and go do something. You got to get up the next day and go walk. You got to be put on bed rest because you can't move. Your head hurting, your back hurting, the other kids around the house getting on your nerves. And then the baby just kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking. And then you go to the doctor and they say, well, you know what? There's low oxygen on the baby. We got to do a C-section. Then now you got to go lay on a table where the doctors will cut you at the bottom of your stomach. But before they do, they take a big ass needle and they stick it in your spine so they can numb your entire body. And once they numb your entire body, guess what they do after they numb your entire body? They take you in a room full of surgeons, and those surgeons, they take a scalpel, the sharpest knife in the hospital, and they cut the bottom of the stomach, and they remove parts of the stomach and the intestine, and they move body parts around, and they get to the baby, and they take the baby out of the placenta, and they remove that baby from the placenta, and then guess what they do after that? They put all that stuff back in your stomach, and then they sew your ass back up, whether using laser or new technology, or back in the day, they would just sew your ass back up. And then after they sew your ass back up, you go back to the room. And now when you go back to the room, now you got to have your first bowel movement. Am I talking to somebody? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Now you got to have your first bowel movement, and now you got to piss for the first time. And most women have discharge when they go to the bathroom, where they're still releasing some of those bad things, and some of those things that were left in their stomach from having the baby hits the toilet. And sometimes the smell is horrible and foul, because sometimes it's part of the placenta that held all the food and all of the shit and urine from that baby is inside that placenta, which causes the vagina to just go crazy with discharge. And then after you discharge, the nurse comes in and says, you got to get up on your feet. I know the bottom of your stomach is cut wide open. Now you got to get on your feet, and you got to walk a little bit. Now that hole in your stomach has become painful, because now when you got that numbing agent put into your body, now the numbing agent they put in your body is no longer numbing you. And now you have to go through the pain and re-walk and walk down the hallways and walk and walk and walk and be tired and holding the bottom of your stomach, going through all this pain, and you're not offended that somebody is perpetrating you, that somebody can't carry a child, that somebody will never know the pain of carrying a child, somebody will never know what it feels like to have your stomach ripped open and a child taken out of your stomach. Nobody will know what it feels like to have postpartum depression. Nobody knows what it feels like to be a mother and to nurture and care for a child, but they're able to go and do this. They're able to go and say the new definition of a woman is an adult who lives and identifies as a female, even though they were born a different sex. Women, where are the lives? Where are the YouTube lives where you're having conversations about a particular sex who are saying, I'm going to put on a wig today, a dress today, tuck my dick today, and tell the world I'm a female today. I'm a woman. Huh? Where are the women that are offended that you have to bleed every month, that you have to go through the pains of pregnancy? Now, I just went through the C-section part of it for you. I didn't even go through the vaginal birth. How about we break down the vaginal birth parenthetically? The vaginal birth, a woman carries a baby up to term, or maybe not even up to term, depending on the baby is premature or not. The water breaks. Once the water breaks, the pressure of that child goes down the cervix of a woman and starts to press up against the cervix of a woman and protrudes out the vagina of a woman, which opens a woman up like opens her up, and that baby pushes his head through that vagina and does his shoulders up to that vagina and comes out of that woman. The reason that they're telling the woman to breathe is because she's in so much pain. The baby is just popping up out of her and ripping her ass to pieces, and the baby's coming up out of her, and she's the reason that she's is because it's painful for that big ass head to come out and those shoulders to come up out of that thing. And now she's in tremendous pain. Wait a minute, Black Man Unfiltered. Are you forgetting one of the things you talked about? The C-section, you talked about the vaginal birth. How many women out there had to go through a breech birth? Does anybody know what a breech birth is? That's when the baby decides, I don't want to come out head first. Come here, somebody. That means the baby said, I'm going to turn around and go ass first. And now the woman has to go through because it's dangerous for a baby to be breached. And so when a baby comes out breached, the legs come out first. The doctors have to be so careful with that soft, brittle body that's coming up out of that woman. Now the woman is lying on the bed giving a breech birth, and she's stressed to the top of her lungs. And now the nurses have to keep her blood pressure at bay. They have to keep ice in her mouth because she can't eat anything. They have to make sure she's hooked to the catheter because she got the piss. Come here, somebody. But you're gonna sit on these lives. These women gonna sit up here and talk about men ain't shit. But then, why aren't you talking about the men who's trying to take your shit? Who's saying that you're no longer considered a woman by your vagina? You're considered a woman only if you claim to be one. Why aren't you women offended? You should be offended. If your child went to school, a little boy, and the child walked through the door, and they told that little boy, you're a girl today. And now your son came home and said, Mama, they told me I have to be a girl today. You would be offended by that. You would be offended if a good man came along and disciplined your son and disciplined your daughter because they were out of line. You would be offended. But you're not offended with a man taking position and surgery and putting hair in his head, wearing wigs, wearing skirts, wearing dresses, and saying, I identify as a woman and I'm going to come in and take over everything that women do because they say they're women, but you can only say you're a woman if you only claim and identify to be one. Your vagina no longer makes you a woman. Black Man Unfiltered, you need to do a recap. Somebody may just came through the door. Hit the like button, subscribe button so I can keep on rolling here. We talked about the C-section. We talked about the vaginal births. We talked about the breech births, those things that women have to go through that tears their bodies apart. Wait a minute. Let's talk about depression. The depression a woman has when she used to be thick and fine and snatched, and now she's no longer snatched because now she's flabby and she has stretch marks. Her breasts are no longer perky. Now they're drooped down because they has to provide milk and food for the child. And now they've gained a significant amount of weight, and now they're depressed when they look in the mirror because they're no longer the girl that every man wants. Now they're the girl that no man wants to be with, and they think that in their head, even if it's a man out there that wants to be with them, they go through that depression. And then the baby starts to cry a little bit, and the baby starts to become so obnoxious and so mean to the mama. When the baby cries, the baby don't know no better. But guess what happens after that? Women have to go through some women go through postpartum depression, and we know postpartum depression has led women to do a lot of evil things to children. How the fuck can you not be offended by a man putting on a dress and a wig saying he you when you guys have a chemical imbalance in you after you have a baby that will cause PTSD, will cause you to harm your child? Throw your child in the stove, throw your child in a boiling water, throw your child in front of traffic. Postpartum depression has led to the deletion of so many children after they were born. You women have to go through that, and you're not willing to fight and tell them you can't have us. A vagina makes me a woman. I am a woman because I have breasts to nurture children and to feed them. I have a vagina to receive sperm from a man to create life. God gave you women the ability to push out children. He gave men the ability to create life, to put life in you through sperm. You carry that sperm and that egg and that sperm become together and they unify, creating a child, which you are able to deliver a human being in the world, and you're not offended that someone who will never go through the pains of a C-section, a vaginal birth, a breech birth, depression, postpartum depression, all because of the baby, a body transformation because of the baby. If I'm making sense, just put a 1 in the chat. If I'm lying, put it in the chat. If you disagree with me, put it in the chat. We're at a point right now, women and men are fighting against, yes, we have points where I have done it. We have points where I say women need to get their shit together, watch this video. We have points where women say niggas need to get their shit together, watch this video. But now we're at a point right now where women and men should come together and say, hell no. How are you not offended when somebody tries to come and take your place? Have you seen some of these surgeries when they go and get that thing taken away and get something flat put there and they put a wig on and they get their skin bleached and they walk out on the streets of Atlanta, walking out on the streets of California, New York, Louisiana, Texas, and above, and they pose themselves as women and they sleep with the man who could potentially be your husband and they lie to that man and tell that man that they are a woman because the men not asking because men are ignorant sometimes and just don't ask, and the men in the dark in there stroking out a woman that used to be a man, and that man could have been your husband, the man that could have given you children, the man that could have been your husband, and you're not offended that they're out targeting the same man that you want? If you are a woman, you sit at home every night twirling your feet together watching reruns of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, and you got men out here in dresses hollering at the men that you could be marrying, and you're not offended? You would rather hit your live button on your YouTube channel and your YouTube show and talk about how niggas ain't shit when the very niggas you need to be talking about is the ones that's trying to take your man from you because they look just like a woman? I remember Mandrell said something. Y'all know Mandrell, the little midget that needs a step stool to pump gas in his car. My homeboy, my brother. Mandrell said this. Mandrell said somebody needs to start tipping these surgeons because they're doing such a great job, you can't even tell no more. They can shave down the Adam's apple. They can take it away. And back in the 90s, you used to say, look at the throat. No longer. Now you say, look in the drawers. No longer. Because everything now, it looks just like a woman's. It looks just like the women's, in the words of Scam Likely. You're quick to tell. Listen here. Edward's in the chat right now. Edward said they're quick to tell straight men they're the prize. They're not the prize because they gave birth to a baby, and the man can't keep that same energy. I'm just saying. Women, you should be offended. You get up in the morning and you have to put that bra on them big old titties that baby gave you, and you got to reach back and struggle with that bra, and you got to, and some women have to turn it all the way around to the front and button it bitch up in the front, and then turn it back around and pop them titties up in that bra, and you struggling every morning, and you got to go and put your grandma panties on because you're going through your monthly cycle, which also facilitates a problem in your hormones where you cussing everybody out. You got a flippant ass attitude, and sometimes you ain't want to do that, but your body tells you you're going to do something different. And you're not offended that somebody else that don't have to go through the hell, don't have to go through the pain of pregnancy, don't have to go through the cramps of a menstrual cycle, don't have to go through anything that a woman has to go through on a daily basis. You're willing to sit here and say you're okay with it, and that's your homeboy, or that's okay, that's them. They're trying to take your place. They're starting to get surgery that looks so good that they're going to start taking your damn men from you. And when the men find out, I don't know what's going to happen. You should be offended. You should be offended that these people can go and do this and put hair on and nails on and look identical to a woman. You should be offended. Women, black women, you should be offended. You up here telling me I'm single by choice. Everybody wants companionship. You single by choice, but yeah, you can sit up there and you can continue to lie to yourself and look at these cameras on YouTube and lie to yourself. Go ahead, do you, boo-boo. But at the same time, we already know what's up. You sitting at home twirling your feet, watching reruns of Popeye the Sailor Man, Scooby-Doo, right? You're watching Scooby-Doo and Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman trying to see if her and Scully gonna get married or have a baby, or watching what's the other one? Texas Ranger, Walker Texas Ranger, waiting on the theme song to come on. In the eyes of a ranger, the unsuspected stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. You sit up there, yes. Or you may flip over and watch a marathon of In the Heat of the Night. You want to see what Detective Tibbs is gonna do. You want to see what the chief gonna do. We're gonna see if Bubba ever gonna get out of those tight slacks and those tight shirts and take that hat off and fights and really beat up somebody who has did a crime. That's what we're gonna do. That's what you're gonna continue to do. You're not offended. You're not offended? You're gonna keep watching. I'm looking at in the chat. Come on, chat. Give me some food here. Give me some food here. Give me some virtual food here because love and hip hop. You're gonna sit and watch what somebody get their paws put on them. We're gonna see what Lil Scrappy and Bam gonna do. How do you know those names, Black Men Unfiltered? But shit, because you see them down your timeline all day. You see them on commercials when you're trying to watch something important. We're gonna see what Lil Scrappy gonna do. We're gonna see what Mama D. We're gonna see if Mama D gonna have another sex tape out here. We're gonna see what she talking about. We're gonna continue to watch that. We're gonna continue to watch Lifetime. Where the crazy white girl deletes the daddy, puts his head in the freezer. The mama don't find it until 5 minutes left in the movie, and she take the mama out and throw her in the freezer too. That's what you want to keep watching? Do you want to keep watching First 48, watching black men snitch on each other before the commercial? Ain't snitching on nobody. When the commercial come back, it's a grape drink and a honey bun on the table, and we all know he done snitched. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave none of your shows out. I don't want to leave none of your shows out, ladies. I don't want to leave none of the distractions out that's keeping you from getting a husband or keeping you from having a nuclear family because you playing games. And these men out here who want to be women, they're putting more work in trying to be a woman, and you ain't got to do nothing but change your attitude and your femininity. That's the only thing you got to do. And you could go out and find you a husband. They're going through surgery and they're going through everything they got to do to come get your man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to sit at home and watch reruns of The Nanny. She was working at the barbershop in Flashing Queens when her boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes. What did she do? Where did she go? She's out on her fanny. You're going to be out on your fanny because you don't want to get a husband. You don't want to fight for what's yours. Well, women is getting to a point where you're going to have to start fighting for what belongs to you. And what belongs to you is a husband. What belongs to you as a father of your children. And you're going to allow these men to go and change the anatomy of themselves and look identical to you and get snatched and get snatched and come out here for your men. That's what you're going to do? You're going to get up in the morning. I'm going to go down the timeline here. And I'm trying to be funny, but I ain't trying to be funny. You're going to get up in the morning, watch the morning news, and after the morning news, you're going to watch Young and the Restless. That's how the timeline used to go, guys. Young and the Restless, and after Young and the Restless, you get 30 minutes of news. Then here comes Bold and the Beautiful. Then after Bold and the Beautiful, then you go As the World Turns, and then you end your day with Guiding Light. And once Guiding Light goes off, the news comes on, and while the news is on, Jeopardy comes on another channel. Then when Jeopardy goes off, there's Wheel of Fortune, and then when Wheel of Fortune goes off, there's reruns of Law and Order, bum, 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 and you're watching Law and Order, you fall asleep watching something that's toxic and about deletion and murder, and you'd rather sit there and go through marathon after marathon when these guys out here are dressing like you, looking like you, smelling like you, getting their bodies cut up like you, and you're not offended? You're not offended? You're not offended that somebody's portraying to be you? Are you not offended? Women, I know there's some women in the chat today. Women, don't be ashamed to say you're offended. Put it in the chat, then let me hear it back. Because I understand that we're in a world today where everything is changing. Now, I done went through the birth. Let me go back down the list here, guys. I'm not here to play today. I didn't write none of this down. It's just God-given, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you because this is what God needs. God needs people to stand up, stand out, and talk about the things that matter. So we're going to sit here. You women, you're not offended that you have to have vaginal birth, C-section, breech birth, depression, antidepressant, postpartum depression, getting your men taken from you by people who are posing to be other people. Having those very people who decide to go another way and be another way and act another way and be like you, have them come and take your jobs all because they are who they say they aren't. you know what? Let's get a little deeper. Because see, sometimes when you talk directly to our black women, they don't hear us. But I know one thing about some of the black women, they are protectors of their children, even if they ain't nurturers. I know a woman that'll jump inside the mouth of an alligator to save her child. So let's talk about your baby. Let's talk about your children. Are you okay going to a track meet and a 16, 15-year-old boy decides he wants to be the girl the day of the track meet? He go out there and beat your daughter who's been running and practicing and preparing for years, and you have been giving so much money and buying the right cleats, paying for the right coach, going to the track on Saturdays, watching her practice, picking her up from practice, burning gas, going to this track meet, that track meet, and all the other track meets, and all the stuff that you're investing into your baby girl, and then a 6'3", 225 male with a wig on come out there with some girl shorts and a girl tank top on, and with taking girl hormones, and he go out there and beat your daughter by a mile because he still has that testosterone running through his blood. Would you be okay with that? Women, are you not offended that someone in today's times can put a wig on and run and run and run and run, outrun your daughter? Let's take it a little deeper. Your daughter want to be a boxer, and your daughter go and get in the boxing ring. And on that day of that boxing match, Mike Tyson decides he wants to come out of retirement, and Mike Tyson says, "I want to be a girl now. I don't want to be a man anymore." And Mike Tyson gets in the ring and beats the dog hell out of your daughter. And they tell you it's okay. It's all for the good. Oh, we're gonna accept everybody for who they are. So they don't mind if a boy gets in the ring and puts on a hat, on a wig, and claims to be a girl and knock your daughter's fucking jaw off. Have you guys been paying attention to the news and to the world? There's a UFC fighter that is a man and posing says he claims to be a woman. And he got in the ring and dislocated a woman's eye, cracked her eye socket, dislocated her shoulder, broke a couple of her ribs, stomped her the shit out, stomped her ass out. Women, are you not offended? Are you not offended? WNBA players, are you ready for LeBron James to say he leaving his wife and he gonna put on a wig and a skirt and come to the WNBA? Just understand, whoever team he on gonna win the championship for the next 25 years. I seen a wrestling match. A girl went in for a wrestling match. A big 6'2" boy comes in with a hat, with a wig on, and says he identifies as a girl, and he picked this damn girl up and threw her to the ground like she was a nothing. The girl on the floor crawling on her elbows trying to retreat from this man. Should we get a little deeper? The swimming championship. The boy comes out and says, I identify as a girl, gets into the swimming pool and beat all the girls by 34 seconds. Women, are you not offended? All those girls who worked hard and learned how to swim, learn how to backstroke, learn how to cut the water with their hands and kick their feet the right way and create speed. All those women who have worked hard, are you not offended? Are you not offended when your baby girl goes into a locker room to change her clothes and they say it's okay for a boy who says he wants to be a girl to sit there and watch your daughter undress and see her naked ass get out the shower? Are you not offended? Are you not offended when the people in the Olympics are now talking that men who say they are women can now compete against women? Are you not offended? Are you not offended? In the last Olympic weightlifting competition, there is a man there who said he identifies as a woman and got into the weightlifting contest and beat the shit out of all of the women on the panel. And he won the gold and sat there like he was a bona fide woman with his hand up in the air. And the other two girls were so disgusted. You can see the looks on their faces that they wanted to jump him. Go and look at this shit for yourself. I don't have to sit here and lie. I can't make this shit up. I can't make the MMA fighter up. I can't make the swimmer up. I can't make the Olympic power lifter up. I can't make this shit up. Go Google My daughters are in sport. I'll be damned if I go to a game and I see a 6-foot dude spike on my daughter and she's playing volleyball. It's going to be a misunderstanding. It's going to be a goddamn misunderstanding. It's going to be some furniture moving around in that gym. If my daughter decides she wants to wrestle or get in the gym and box, and a man gets in the ring with my daughter and punch my daughter in the head and crack my daughter's head, it's going to be a now we boxing. When are we going to stand up for what we believe in? If you don't listen to it for yourself, women who want to be married, and these men are targeting the same men you want, then think about your children getting their asses kicked. Think about all the money you invest in their sports and their track and track and field and football and all these other things, and they're allowing this shit to happen, and your investment is going down the drain based on the fact that nobody wants to do anything about this. Look at Chicago. Chicago, I'm going to talk about it. Chicago, one of their districts just got $25 million to enhance their schools. I can't make this shit up. They got $25 million to help the schools, to make the schools better. And guess what they did with the $25 million? They went through the district and changed the fucking bathrooms to say boy plus, girl plus, and put tampons and pads in the boys' bathroom. I cannot make this shit up. Go and look for yourself. Go and Google this for yourself. I can't make it up. They changed the bathroom so little boys can feel good about themselves acting like females. This is what we're doing? Women, are you not offended that the schools are targeting your little boys mostly? I see they're doing a lot of fighting to get the boys to go in the girls' locker room, but they're not doing a lot of fighting to get the girls to go in the boys. How can you affect the future of the world? By the children. Go get them. If you won't listen to me about you, then listen to me about your youth. The grown ones are trying to be you, and the schools are trying to make your sons like you. They're creating laws for your son to be like you. They're getting laws together to make your son say, Mama, I don't care what you say. I no longer want this thing that hangs between my legs. I don't want it anymore. And if I'm 10 years old and you tell me no, it's child abuse. I can't make this up. Right now, if you go against anything your child say, it's child abuse, no matter what it is. You can't disagree with your child because it's considered child abuse. Women, are you not offended? We got 28 people watching. Please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button right now. Hit that like button. We need 20. It's 28 people watching. We need 28 likes. If you want to give to this channel and give me something to drink after this, go ahead and hit that Cash App. I'm taking the Cash Apps today. Hit that Cash App today and send your boy $1.50, $2.50. So when I get done in here, I'm going to get me a Gatorade and rehydrate myself from this shit. This is ridiculous. Matter of fact, let me pull it up again for those who just got here, because when I pulled it up last time, it was 14 people watching. I guess the word is spreading. The Black Man Unfiltered over here is banging shit up. 28 people are watching now. Thank God for you guys for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that Cash App to get me something to drink after this show is over. Now we up to 30 people. Let's continue to share and get this thing going. Let me pull it back up, because maybe the people in the back who can't hear in one ear and deaf in the other one missed it the first time. So I'm going to put the words on the screen so you guys can see it yourself. The dictionary, the thing that we used in school before there were phones, tablets, iPhones, and Samsung Galaxy. We would use books and encyclopedias to get information to make ourselves more important and more smart in school. And we learned what definitions was. Well, why are we using the dictionary today? Because the dictionary today says this: The definition of a woman has changed. The old definition of a woman who was born as a female, a feminine nature. Now, the definition says the new definition of a woman is, and what? Read it, y'all. It's right to read it, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you 10 minutes, a moment of silence to see where the world is going. When the dictionary changes the definition of a woman, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem, Houston. Let me give you 10 seconds to read that. Read it again. Ain't nobody listening to me. Read it again. Read it 3 times. I'll be right back. Just read it. Make it make sense. The definition of a woman is an adult who lives and identifies as a female, even though they have been born as a different sex. When is this going to end? Huh? When is it they're going to end? So now, thank you, Edward Gilbert, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Now we're going to get to the point where we can identify as anything. So now if I go out and beat somebody's ass and you arrest me and I go to court, I can simply say, let me get on the screen because I don't want y'all to miss this. When I go to court after I whoop somebody's ass or put somebody's ass to sleep, and I can go to court and I can say, I identify you. We're going to give you 10 years in prison. No, Your Honor, you're not going to give me 10 years in prison. Oh, really, Mr. Black Man? What do you mean? What I mean is I'm not going to jail because I identify as innocent. Are we going to have the same energy for that? Because we can identify as a sheep, we can identify as a wolf. They having teachers right now say you will respect the mind and the thoughts of our children. You remember when our kids used to get on all fours and act like animals? We say, get your ass up, you're not no monkey. I remember my mama said, I remember when I was a child, I behaved as a child. And I remember my mama used to have a Bible just like this. And my mama would go up and she would see me acting like a monkey and making monkey noise. And I would get to doing too much. My mama would come in and say, get your ass up. You're not no monkey. But now kids go to school today. Guys, I can't make this up. Kids go to school today. You have to respect what they want to be called. So if an 8-year-old walk into class and say, you got to go right back at them. Not me. I'll be fired the first day of school. I tell them, go sit your ass in that chair and shut your ass up. Sit your ass down. What kind of parents are allowing this? Where's your father? Hell, become some of the fathers have come so complacent and so scared of the mamas, they're not even talking about it no more. They're not even telling the mamas, baby, we're not going to allow our son to go to school with that puppy outfit on today. He's 10 years old. Are we really going to allow him to wear that puppy suit today and bark like a dog all day today? Are you serious? Men, I said this last night, I'm going to say it again. Men, get your balls back. Because most men won't even talk about this. And I'm starting to question men that won't talk about it and won't talk about straightening out this shirt that's got all the wrinkles in, ironing the wrinkles out of these shirts that we're talking about. I'm starting to question some of the men who won't have this conversation. Because you'll stand for something to fall for anything. We're losing our kids every day. Our sons are getting rainbowed out. And I think more emphasis is on the young men than it is anybody. Women, are you not offended that the men are changing to be you and to take what is yours, and they're trying to get your son at the school and train him mentally to take also to become you and take what is yours? If you hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't agree with Black Man Unfiltered today, put a 2 in the chat. Either way, though, I got to say what I got to say. I've seen women. I see you, world class. World class say the women are with it. Yes, that's my friend. Yes, it's your friend, but he looking at your man in them gray sweatpants when he come over there. He looking. Yes, bitch. I start itching doing this shit just now. You got to be kidding me. Where are we at in the world where men have gotten to the point they can't even stand up no more and do nothing about this? When are we going to stand up and do something about it? When are you going to be in the PTA meetings with your children? When are you going to do it? When are you going to tell your daughters right from wrong and stop letting them dress like whores when they walk out the door, and your sons dressing like damn criminals when they walk out the door? When are we going to step up and say something? Women, why are you not offended that they're trying to take your place? Wake your ass up. You know what? All these women content creators, I'm going to be watching your asses. I'm like Dr. Umar. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching y'all. I'm going to be watching you when these shows come and you're talking about men ain't nothing and men ain't. I'm going to be watching you. I'm like Dr. Umar.
You can stop it.
Absolutely, you can stop it. Because this is affecting us just like those men you say they're affecting the children. This is affecting us as well. Ain't nobody trying to hear me. And I don't care what kind of backlash I get. I don't care. Because sometimes when you choose to do the work of the Lord, they're going to break your ass down anyway. My grandmama said, if people don't talk about you, you ain't worth a damn. But if everybody quiet about you, then you no threat to anybody. Men, when are you going to do it? If you can afford to homeschool your children, do it. If you can afford to homeschool your children, do it. The schools right now, I think sex education is good for kids. You got to teach them, but it must be the permission of the parents to teach them, not sneak and put books in the library that says when a man comes, there's semen that comes out of the tip of the penis, and you can rub that penis and it's so sensitive, and you take that penis and you put it inside of the girl, and if you're like a boyfriend and you want to taste his balls, you can taste them. Don't think I'm lying, and that's not in those books. Right now, Google it. There was a man just at a school board meeting who confronted the school board. He read every word out of the book to the school board members, and they couldn't eat. The superintendent, they couldn't even stomach to hear the words. And it's a book that you allow in the library for kids between the ages of 5 and 8. Women, how are you not offended? Women, you march for the Me Too. You march for the feminist movement. But you ain't gonna march for your movement getting moved out the way by movers of men who want to move you. When are you going to speak up and say you can live your life, but you're not going to live your life trying to be me? When are women going to stand up and say, without me? Huh? Fantasia got a song say, where would you be without me? Where would you be without me? Where would you be? You tell them, where would you be without me? Without the vagina, man does not exist. And you're going to sit here and lower me as a woman, and I'm carrying children. I'm the reason that you're able to put on your rainbow because you came out of a woman? You're going to disrespect me and tell me now in the dictionary that you're no longer a woman unless you claim to be one? Women, when will you get offended and make lives about that? When will you make lives about that? When am I going to see titles and thumbnails of women talking about that? When am I going to see women who live in the Chicago area talk about that? Who's going to say we could have took that $25 million and made that neighborhood better, got better security? You know how many kids got shot in that area? And you're worried about a damn tampon machine in a bathroom for boys who will never need them? We're going to sit at the Essence Festival and watch Megan Thee Stallion twerk and Janelle Monáe pull her titty out, but ain't nobody going to holler out and say, these are our babies? Women, when will you get offended? Women will not, let me tell you something about women. Women ain't going to love their man like they love their children. I can sit here all day and preach to the women and say, when will you be offended? But I'm used to black women. This one thing I can say about black women, they'll fight your ass over their children. So why am I not seeing the energy of black women with you fighting over your children? You'll fight your baby daddy because he came in 3 minutes after midnight. You'll fight the male football coach who whooped your son ass when he got out of line, but you won't fight the motherfucker who's trying to be you and can't be you, but trying to take your place and can't even get in place to take your place. This is a problem. We have selective outrage. Shout out to Chris Rock. When are we going to step up and do something about it, ladies and gentlemen? Women, are you not offended? Are you not offended that men are trying to take your place? Men are dressing like you, looking like you, got this sweet smelling perfume like you, right? The surgeries have become so complete. The surgeries have become so magnificent and extraordinary, and all of the new findings and all of the new technology and all of the new surgical things that they can do to a man's body to make him look like a woman perfection. And guess what? These men can walk around and call you cis women. You remember back in the day when two people got offended against each other? And one of the people out of the crowd who was messy and petty would scream out and say, I bet you won't hit him. Who mama wear panties? And then the fight ensues. Why are we not doing that now? Why are we not doing that now? Why ain't nobody in the crowd screaming out now? You gonna allow him to say he you and he ain't gotta go through what you went through to be you? You gonna allow him to come in and transform his body to be just like you? You ain't gonna do nothing about it? You gonna allow your son to grow up in a world where men have perfected their bodies to be like women, that your son may run into one and get married to one and not even know that she used to be a man? You gonna allow your son to come home with one? You're going to allow your son to get conditioned to the point where he starts to accept it because you didn't do anything about it, and he starts dating them because they say he's politically incorrect if he don't? You're going to allow your son to do it? You're going to allow it to happen? Or are you going to sit back and continue to be stupid and allow somebody to try to be you? This is the same thing about a father. I'm talking about a good father, a father who loves his children. And just say this. And just say this. Let me say this. Let me say this first. The next time somebody say, you fat ass boy, I'm going to say, I identify as skinny. Don't offend me. I identify as a skinny man. That's what I identify as. Yeah, that's what I identify as. Mm-hmm. So when are we going to step up and step out and do what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? Women, where you at? I bet you won't. We need to get to a point. I bet you won't. 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 I bet you won't go over there and tell him that he ain't you. I bet you won't go over there and tell him he ain't went through what you went through to be you. Who mama wear panties? When we gonna start some shit and make them realize that you can't be my mama. You can't be big mama. You can't be my sister. You can't be my lover. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys being here. Hit that Cash App. I need to go get me some Gatorades. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Now, see how stupid it can get? I can say I identify as the highway. I identify as the highway. So, officer, you can't stop me. And you can't stop me if I'm speeding because I identify as the highway. I identify as a street. See how stupid that sounds, ladies and gentlemen? When are you going to say something? Women should be offended. You should be offended. Cash App's at the bottom. super chats at the bottom as well. Let me read some of them. We got Edward that says, "Keep cooking, BMU." $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Edward. We also have Big Kev 9539 that says $2 super chat. Thank you. It's not stupid. It's just trans intelligent. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me look at my Cash App over here and see who's giving out. Let's see here. We got Casey Moe with a super chat. Thank you so much, Casey Moe. All right. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here today. Tonight, we have a show tonight that has already been scheduled. If you go on my channel, you will be able to see tonight that we're going to get it in tonight. We have a great conversation happening on tonight. You guys, if you have any ideas for a show, you can email me at blackmenunfiltered@gmail.com. Email me at blackmenunfiltered@gmail.com. Tonight's show is entitled, "Are Women at War with Each Other Over Modesty and Accountability?" Right? We're going to talk about how India Arie tried to step up and tell these young women that they should have more class, and she got dragged for it. Then on Wednesday, we have the 1-in-1 Sports Show at 7 p.m. We also have on 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, right after the sports show, we have Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. And their show entitled this week is going to be, "Is the Holy Ghost Just a Ghost Story?" That's going to be on Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're looking to get your mind right and breaking the cycle of toxicity, we have a doctor in the building, Dr. Nkumbe, who is a psychiatrist, a forensic psychiatrist. He's a psychiatrist for those who are bad, good, and indifferent. So I want to make sure that you guys support him. And Coach K, she is a coach. She is a life coach. What happens when you get a doctor and a life coach together? You get all the help that you need. So make sure you go over on Thursday night, Disrupting the Cycle in Action by breaking down the 4 Ds. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. On Friday, it's not posted on the YouTube channel yet, but on Friday, we're going to have, let me see. Lady Navoa says she sent me a Cash App too. Hold on a second, Lady Navoa. Let me see. Oh, shit. Let me see. Lady Navoa. No, I haven't gotten it, Lady Navoa. I didn't get it, sweetheart. Yeah, I haven't gotten it. Oh, I see it. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It just popped up. Thank you so much, sweetheart. All right, but it's not on there for Friday for Barbershop Talk. All the men, guys, you got to start sharing this content. This content deserves to be in everybody's face. Monday through Friday, we got something for everybody. We got comedy, we got bumping heads, we got a few arguments, we got educational things, we have people that we're talking about spiritual things, we're talking about getting your mind right and disrupting the inaction and breaking down the 4 Ds in your mind. We got something every day for you. And on Friday for Barbershop Talk, we're going to talk about how in 2023, how should Black men discipline their children when the system is controlling how you discipline your children. Yeah, you heard it. We're going to talk about that on Friday. All right, guys. Thank you for donating to the channel. Thank you guys for being here today. And the last question, guys, put it in the chat. Share this and put it as your topic and share it and say, when will you be offended? When will you get offended? Make sure, guys, you love your children, love yourself, love your spouse, and everyone else. Until next time, until tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, make sure you guys come back tonight. Bring the same energy back tonight. We're going to work it out tonight. And make sure you share this with everybody you know. Everybody that's in here right now, we have 29 people watching. After the show's over, go down 29 people and put some comments in there for the algorithm. Hit the like button for the algorithm as well. I'd appreciate you guys so much for doing that. All right, thank you for the guys who hit the Cash App. It's not too late to hit the Cash App. If you want to support the channel, I'd appreciate it. It just shows me that you love the content and motivates me to keep moving forward. I appreciate you guys. All right. Until tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Talk That Talk Tuesday, I am Black. I am your host. I am your proprietor of this entire network, Black Men Unfiltered. Until next time, I love you guys. Be safe. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'm out.
walk through the desert, but when you admire the light, see the villains are paper mache. I'm on the way to the promised land, no contraband. I'm an honest man, I'm coming. Have y'all met me? I'm set free, playing my part like the Red Sea. Man, I'm from heaven, I'm here with my brethren. The volume's 11, now we're getting proud.